I'm here in Bulldog's basement where I'm looking for something to review this week for Bulldog's Unboxings. And over here in this corner, I've got basically an embarrassment of riches when it comes to Legends figures that I have yet to unbox. And I'm just going chronologically here, and I see that there are two still from Series 20 that I still have yet to unbox. So let's do that today.
Boxes here like mystery loot. Wrestling heroes stand tall with their masks so cute. Canadian Bulldog, he's the man with the plan. Unboxing those legends like nobody can. Dusty shows that come alive with every rip and tear. Hulking Macho Man is a thumper there. Packaging's popping and the figures are locked. Wrestling memories roll around the clock. Bulldog's unboxings, yeah, the treasures unfold. Memories from the rain, painted in gold. Figures in the spotlight, heroes of the night. Wrestling merchandise, making it alright.
Canadian Bulldog from Wrestling Merchandise and Memories. That's merchandiseandmemories.com. And welcome to another edition of Bulldog's Unboxings. Now, as I mentioned, I have just a whole lot of WWE Legends figures that I have not yet opened. And with this particular series, Series 20, I was hoping to get the entire collection before I unbox them, just the way I tend to operate. But I was only able to pick up two of them at a retail level. Certainly in Canada, the distribution of these Legends figures is very, very unpredictable. And in fact, I may have even picked up one of them across the border in Buffalo, New York. But regardless, we're going to open them today, the two we've got. And we're going to kick things off with the game, Triple H. And it doesn't say here, but I do feel this is from his 1999 or 2000 run, just based on the gear and the way he looks here. And you'll see here on the back, there's no description of, what this time period represents. You see the other figures that are in this series. So we've got Triple H, and we're going to look at Greg the Hammer Valentine later, which means that we did not get the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and Mr. Perfect. Both of the figures I actually would have preferred over these ones, if I'm being honest, but that's fine. Without further ado, let's open the game. Taking a look at the base figure here, it's really not bad. It's a good rendering of Triple H by all accounts. Take a look at the face scan here. It's not bad. He's got that angry look, as he is very often does, and you can't go wrong with this one. He's wearing this bloody red Triple H shirt. I vaguely remember this one, shortly after he broke out on his own and was not a part of DX. It still was sort of the Hunter Hearst Helmsley logo at that point. And then beyond that, you've got the knee, I guess the tape around one knee, and then both black knee pads. Got the black boots. He's got tape around one of his fists and not the other, and then a pair of elbow pads and this cloth goods shirt. And why don't we're just gonna pop it off here right now so we can look at some other options as well. I do prefer the look without the shirt here. It is just more sort of vintage classic Triple H. He would, in the coming years, he would put on a bit more muscle mass, a bit more weight. But this is, if you're looking around that 99, 2000 era, this is just about perfect. In addition to the t-shirt, he also comes with this chainmail vest, which I believe is also on his Ultimate Edition figure as well. So that really does sort of go in with the time period. So I'm assuming we can just pop it on over his head. I assumed wrong, because you cannot just pop it over his head. You have to remove the head first to put this on properly. It looks good, but not great. It's a fine accessory, especially, like I said, if you want to look at Triple H in that point in time. And then he's also got a pair of extra hands here. They're both of the gripping nature. So I guess this is just if you want to flip their hands around, you have that option. And then, and this is kind of strange to me, you've got a can of white spray paint. I'm not sure the significance of this. I do not recall. Maybe in his DX days and at that his later DX days, he would have spray paint. So, you use those with the gripping hands as opposed to the fists that he comes posed with. But I don't really see the significance of this one. If you're looking for a Triple H figure, I would say this is probably not the best one out there, but it's not bad. Like, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just there are so many other ones that I would deem much, much better. Up next, we've got Greg the Hammer Valentine, and not just the Hammer, but a very well-known look for him, especially among wrestling figure collectors. You may remember that there was a WWF Hasbro figure that was made to look, essentially like this, and it ended up, it was never sold at retail, and then years and years later, Mattel did a retro version of that, so at least we got, that version of the figure, and then this is, of course, the full-size one. On the back here, we do have a description of this one, and it says the titles he held were the Intercontinental Championship and the World Tag Team Championship. And then the description reads, Greg the Hammer Valentine spent much of his career as a loner, but in 1988, he dyed his trademark blonde-haired jet black, picked up a guitar, and formed the tag team Rhythm and Blues alongside the Honky Tonk Man. The duo celebrated at WrestleMania 6, where they pulled up in a pink Cadillac and delighted the fans with their song, Hunka Hunka Honky Love. I was there in the audience when that happened, and I would not say that we fans were necessarily delighted with that performance, although we did appreciate the Bushwhackers coming in and ruining the celebration. All right, let's open up Greg the Hammer Valentine from his Rhythm and Blues days. I'm not gonna lie, this is very, very impressive, and what I'm really focusing on are two things. First, the head scan, vintage Greg Valentine, and even though he has his hair dyed black, you can tell instantly who it is, and the Elvis Presley glasses are just perfect. You can remove them if you want to see Valentine's baby blue eyes underneath here. I'm not doing a good job of it, but just trust me when I say his eyes are underneath there, so you can manipulate that look. But the second thing I'm looking at is this phenomenal jacket. It is removable cloth goods. I don't want to mess with it at the moment. I know what Hammer has underneath here, and I don't need to necessarily see that for this review. But look at the craftsmanship and the love that goes into this, all the musical notes and it's an eagle on the back. This is perfect. There's also a belt here that says Greg the Hammer Valentine, which is magnificent, with these little gold chains hanging from it. Again, you can remove it. I'm not going to. And then he's got the Hammer Valentine symbol on both of his white boots. It's perfect. Like, no notes. If you wanted to do a Rhythm and Blues Greg Valentine, this is exactly what it should and does look like. This is far better than even the retro figure that came out a few years back. In addition, the Hammer has his trademark guitar. Now, just a pro tip here, you'll see I've got the little elastic gimmicks still around this. I'm never ever going to remove them. I've done that a few times, and because you can see there's little breakage symbols, breakage like perforations in the back, you'll never get it back together, not long enough, especially if you want to pose it on a shelf or something like that. My advice is just keep the elastics on, and then it looks perfect. You can put it in his hands, you can have him playing a tune, whatever you want to do. But you don't want to knock Valentine on his ass though with the guitar. That's what he's supposed to do to opponents. But just so that is an option there if you want to pose him with the guitar. If you don't, and you decide you want to swap his C grip hands out, you've got two fists here. You can deliver those hammer punches. But really, this is a fantastic Legends figure. There's really nothing I would do to change it up. I think you've got him, you've got a Honky Tonk Man together, maybe you get a Jimmy Hart, and then you've got just a magnificent act to put among your other figures from this time period. Out of the two figures we've got here, to me, Greg the Hammer Valentine is the clear winner. But to be fair, I also don't have the DiBiase and Mr. Perfect figures to really rank this set. The Triple H it's fine. It's just not something I would go out of my way to display. It's kind of a in the middle Triple H, I guess. But you know, I'm a big collector clearly of the Legends figures and hoping to unbox some more in the near future. So there you go. For Bulldog's Unboxings, I'm Canadian Bulldog, and we'll see you next time.
Flipping open boxes here like mystery loot. Wrestling heroes stand tall with their masks so cute. Canadian Bulldog, he's the man with the plan. Unboxing those legends like nobody can. Dusty shows that come alive with every rip and tear. Hulk and Macho Man, it's a top of that. Packaging's popping and the figures are locked. Wrestling memories roll around the clock.